Hi everyone, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to talk about Internet Protocol addresses, which is also called as IP addresses. So, Internet Protocol addresses makes the word go round, or at least enable us to email, Skype, navigate to the web, and many more things. So, it is almost as important as world going around. So, each digital device, it could be computer, laptop, phone, tablet, and many more, is assigned an IP address. And this is what enables us to communicate and connect with it. So imagine an IP address as similar to your house address. So without that particular address, no one could find you and send you mail. So the IP address system we are presently using in this particular time as IP version 4, which is also called as IPv4. So it is made up of 32-bit with having 4 octets, or we can say 4 group of 8 bits. So if you want to see it, you can see it here. We are having 4 octets, which is containing 8 bits, which means 1 byte. So this is the decimal representation of number 172, and this is the binary representation of this particular number, which is this. And this is for 16 and 254 and 1. So this is how IP version 4 or IPv4 address looks like. As you can see here, we are having 4 chunks of octet, which means 32, simply 32 bits. Okay. Now guys, if we talk about for instance, we're having this particular IP address. So each of the number between the period dot, which as you can see here, this is dot, this is dot, this is dot. Okay, so it is nothing but it is the decimal equivalent of 8 bits. So this means that we calculate the base 2 number that computers uses represent by the 8 bits and convert them into the decimal number that humans are more comfortable to working with. So each one of the octet is capable of holding 8 bits representing numbers within range of 0 to 255, which simply means that we are having this octet, this octet, this octet, and this octet. Okay, so every octet can contain only 0 to 255 numbers. Okay, so this is the range that we have here. Okay, so I think it is clear. So it is nothing but 2 to the power 8. Okay, so now guys, let's talk about some classes of addresses. So before going to classes of addresses, first of all, erase. Okay, so that it will look clear to us. Okay, now everything is fine. Now if we talk about the classes of IP addresses, so IP addresses are generally put into 3 classes. So as you can see that the first class that we have here is 0000 dot and 127.255.255 like this. And then we're having class number 2, this is the class, and then class this and this. So we're having all these kinds of class. So in the future lectures, we are going to cover all these classes. Okay. So guys, if you want to understand what is private IP and what is public IP. So if you talk about public IP address, so what it is? So a computer on the internet is identified by a unique 32-bit address which we have seen. So public IP addresses are publicly registered with Network Information Center, which is also called as NIC, to avoid IP conflicts. So computer on router protected local area network need not to be accessed by the public. For the reason, NIC has reserved certain addresses that can never be registered publicly. So those are called as public IP. So if you talk about what is private IP, so if you talk about IP address of a computer inside VLAN, which is wireless local area network, which we have seen that 192.168.101. Okay, let me write it here so that it will be easy to understand. 192, sorry for the bad handwriting because I'm doing this with the help of my mouse. 168. The thing is, you need to understand what I want to teach you. Okay, so we are having this particular IP address. So certain addresses reserved by the NIC are divided into 3 classes. So now let's see what those classes are. Okay, so we are having these many classes. So the first class is called as class A. Okay, so the IP range, as you can see here, from here to here. So this is nothing but these particular class contains maximum host to 16.777.216 and use it for large network spread across countries. Not country, it is for cities. Okay, then we are having, it is done. Then we are having class B. So range, as you can see here, this is the range of class B and it is having maximum host around, let me write it here, let me write it for this first. Okay, 16.777. These are the number of hosts that can connect using this particular IP address. And then for this class B IP address, we are having 048 and 567. These are the maximum hosts and it is used for networks like universities. These are simply reserved for the networks for the universities. Then we are having class B. So what is class B? So class B is having around maximum host of 65,536. Okay, I think things are visible to you. Okay, so this is nothing but this is perfect for the home routers. Okay, so we are having 3 classes. Now things are clear here. We are having 3 classes. The first class is for the network spread across the cities, and the second class, which is class B, is for the networks like universities, and then we are having class B, which is used for the home routers. Okay, so this concept is now clear. So private, so private IP addresses are assigned to the client devices connected to the router. So a client device can be your laptop, mobile, tablet, anything which is capable of wireless networking. Okay, so if you want to check IP address, so you can simply go to Google and simply type there my IP, then it will give you your public IP. Okay, it will give you your public IP. So this is how it looks like. This is how public and private IP assigned, and we have talked about all the classes that we have here and everything about IP address that we need to learn. Okay, so guys, this is all for this lecture.